We've got Robert Sinclair, Northeast spokesman for AAA, and Dana Lancellott, president and CEO of the New Jersey Restaurant and Hospitality Association, joining us. And Robert, for everybody that is going somewhere, whether it be today, tomorrow, whatever the case may be, how do we save money on gas?
Well, first of all, where you buy gas makes a big difference. Gasoline tends to be more expensive on highways or the stations along highways in affluent neighborhoods. In those intersections where you see 3 or 4 gasoline stations, they're competing with each other. So the prices will tend to be lower. The big box stores, we know the names of those, they tend to have cheaper prices because they can buy in great volumes. And the so-called no-name gasoline stations, we know the big-name gasoline stations, those no-name gasoline stations, they tend to be cheaper as well because they can buy gas on the spot market. There might be a tanker sitting out in New York Harbor right now that they're bidding on that has gasoline. And so use those tips to try and save when you purchase. When you're burning gasoline, probably the biggest thing that you can do is make sure your tires are properly inflated. It takes 30% of an engine's energy to overcome the rolling resistance of the tires. And in fact, that's a big consideration with electric vehicles because they're doing everything they can to try and improve the range. And one of the things they do is to have tires that are very, very highly pressurized. The normal vehicle might have tire pressure of 31, 32 PSI. In electric vehicles, it's upwards of 43, 44 PSI. So that air pressure is very critical, not only to making sure you get good fuel economy, but for safety. We're anticipating 388,000 breakdowns around the country for this holiday weekend and 30,000 locally, and flat tires are a big item. So making sure the tires are properly inflated will help as far as maintenance and safety. Also fuel economy. The other thing is slow down. If you've ever had the privilege of pushing a broken down vehicle, and that happened to me a lot when I was in my youth, you realize that getting that vehicle moving from a dead stop is the biggest exertion of energy that you will make. And so when you're driving and you're at a stoplight, a stop sign, step on that gas very gently to get going from a stop, because that's when your engine is going to use a lot more energy. Also, at 50 miles an hour is kind of like the ideal speed for a vehicle to save gasoline. Once you get up above 50 miles per hour, the engine is working harder to overcome the increased resistance of air at higher speeds. And in fact, I've seen numbers that say that for every 5 miles per hour over 50 miles per hour that you drive, it's like adding 25 cents to the price of a gallon of gasoline. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've seen a lot of people just flying around on our roads these days. I don't know where they're getting their gasoline, but they must be getting it very, very cheaply. So slowing down is very important. Will save gas and save lives. Speeding is a big problem these days as far as the fatalities are concerned. Get rid of any extra weight in your vehicle. You could do something as simple as changing to a synthetic oil. The synthetic oil lets your engine run more efficiently, and you might even get an extra horsepower or 2 as a result. And making sure that your vehicle is running properly. Anything that you need to do, it might be air filter, spark plugs, your technician knows best. And when you consider these days, the government just came out with numbers this week that says the average age of a vehicle on the road now is 12.3 years.
Wow.
And we've done studies and found that when your vehicle gets to 10 years of age, that's when you start having problems. Cooling system, transmissions, those sort of things. You have to give the vehicle maintenance so that it runs properly and so that it runs, so that you can keep going. We're holding on to our vehicles longer. The bad economy, the tough economy that we're facing means that people are keeping their vehicles longer. So you need to do all these things so that your vehicle can run, so that it can run safely, and so that it can run efficiently.